Hello, me again. I'm back. Another game. It feels like forever since Leeds last played, doesn't it? Oh, can't stand international breaks. That's a whole nother video. We'll leave that for now. Hope you've been well, guys. Thanks for joining me. If you could, do us a solid and like and subscribe. All helps. Trying to get to those key numbers so I can start to focus more on YouTube than in other things. Well, I was at the game last night and the atmosphere was incredible. And it started in the right way. A really good tribute to George Baldock. The whole of the crowd supported that moment. It's so tragic. I mean, you realise how small football is in the world when people lose their lives like that. Families are left without loved ones. It's just, football just has to take a moment, doesn't it? And we all applauded. And yeah, it was really quite sad. But anyway, on to the football. And well, it was quite a game. I have lots of thoughts on the game last night, and I'll probably be a little bit controversial. And I don't mind, this is an open forum, guys. I mean, if you want to put comments if you want to put any comments in there, good, bad, or indifferent, I don't take any straight offence. If you don't agree with me, if you agree with me, whatever you have, whatever opinion you have, to me, it's valid, even if you think I'm a numpty. I don't care. It's just one of those things. It's football. It's not real life, is it? So, my opinion's on the game. That's why you're here, isn't it? What a great result. Albeit a little closer than the scoreline suggests. Now, I'm not talking stats here. I'm not talking possession stats and opportunities and the likes. I'm talking about how the game played out. The good old eye test. I actually thought, up until the 70th minute, Leeds United hadn't done an awful lot to be in front of this in this game. We had a few opportunities, but they were kind of not exactly clear cut, let's say that. Like Ramazani's opportunity here. I mean, it's speculative. He could have caught the keeper out, but that's pretty comfortable for Cooper in the Sheffield United goal. There was another opportunity a little later in the game when Brendan Aronson had a volley on goal. There was another opportunity with Nonto just outside the box, hit it straight over the bar, flying over the bar. Brendan Aronson just here now receiving the ball and does that thing which really pisses me off when he reverses it. He tries to reverse it to the near post. He's got a gaping goal on the other side, and what does he do? He hits it towards the near post. Bizarre. Don't get it. Anyway, there was a few opportunities like that. But other than that, there wasn't anything really clear cut until we scored our first goal. And I thought Sheffield United had a particular game plan. They played a 3-5-2. So they sat in a little bit. But when they broke, they tried to break through Arbalaster and Harmer, trying to put balls over the top to their big centre forward. He was trying to flick it on to that little guy from ex-Coventry player, what's his name? The guy we were talking about signing forever. Thank God we didn't, by the way. Oh, and here's that big centre forward, Moore. He's got a more effective mouth than feet. See how he just passed that straight back to Nonto there? That was quite handy. Brendan Aronson's chance is coming up here. I will just talk this one through because this was quite a key chance. And I'll talk more about Rothwell in a minute, the way he moved through midfield. God, it was beautiful. Here's the one time that Firpo crossed off the ground, and there's Aronson levering it into the crowd. Now, you've got to do better, haven't you? You're a professional footballer worth 30 odd million quid. You've got to do better here. Look, I know he's a little put off by Perot in front of him, but he's got to be ready to turn that towards the far post, not the near post again. But anyway, I'm digressing. I think the game was closer than we think. We controlled possession a lot of the time. They had a few decent chances, and we were controlling it well. Let's go through the team, shall we? Let's talk about the players. Firpo was effective again, I thought, tonight. He was overlapping really well. We played wing play. We played with the wing backs. That was a solid key part of our game plan. And he was great for the most part. There was a few times when I just wanted him to lift his crosses. He has to remember he's got Perot in the box, not Joseph. He needs to lift it a bit more. The guy's got the ability to peel off the centre-back, and he didn't do that, and it frustrated the hell out of me at times. But overall, he was solid. Got his typical yellow card. Can you believe it? He's not actually had a suspension yet. Christ, you'd think so. You'd think he'd be on a suspension by now. But yeah, he got his yellow card. That puts him on 4. So let me work this out. He'll get booked in the next game. So we'll be missing him very soon. We'll be seeing Schmidt at the back, no doubt. Nonto, relatively quiet. Had a few spurts at moments, in moments of the game. Brought the ball forward quite well, but he was pretty quiet. I wasn't surprised to see him come off in the 70th minute. Aronson, little frustrating for me. I don't know what it is about Aronson. It's like he's trying too hard now. He's giving it a bit too much of a go. He's thinking about it a bit too much, and he just needs to snap to it a little bit. He sort of mollies on the ball a little bit too long for my liking. Not so sure about him. I really still would like to see Nonto in that 10 position. But hey, we will see, won't we? Ramazani, getting hotter, getting warmer. He's getting there, isn't he? He had the two main key chances over and above what Aronson had. A speculative distance shot, and then he was played the ball through, and it was a really impossible terrible angle. He'd have probably been better to pull the ball back, but he managed to get it past the keeper and clip the post, and it went out. But he worked really hard, and there was a couple of occasions where he tracked back really well and tackled, and he has got some real strength for a small guy. I was quite impressed by him. Strauch, captain for the night, imperious as ever, just looks solid as a rock, doesn't he? Thank God he's playing for us in the Championship. There he is, scoring the goal. How many of you, when Rothwell took that corner, went, oh, for fuck. It was a pea shooter, wasn't it? I thought, oh, here we go. Another wasted corner, and it managed to get through. Normally, I'd dive up in the stand when Leeds score. A few people around me, we were completely shocked that ball went in. But yeah, here it is again, look. Cool. He's done well to finish that, hasn't he? There are strikers that would struggle with that. Beautiful. And he's attractive, isn't he? God, he's a good-looking man. Anyway, Bogle probably had one of his best games in a Leeds shirt, I think, possibly. And is that because it was against Sheffield United? Could be. He seemed like he was searching for the fuck you to Sheffield United, wasn't he? He was pumping his fist at the crowd on numerous occasions. I'd love to have seen him score. I think he would have most certainly celebrated. Joe Rodon, I've got to say, it makes me worried a little bit. He has a bit of Llorente in him from time to time, and you know what I mean. If you've seen Llorente play, you know what I mean. He's got qualities of a Premier League centre-back. Then from time to time, he just does things that make you think, oh. There was a moment in the game when he brought the ball out of the air really well. He was tracking across the field, more back towards his own goal. And he brought the ball out of the air brilliantly and then just passed it straight to a Sheffield United player, which I was surprised at because you'd think he'd just lump it, but he didn't. He tried to play it and sadly got it all wrong. And Joel Perreault, let's mention Joel Perreault. Pretty quiet, kind of just did that job. It worked really, didn't it? He sort of did the number 9 role. Joseph came on in the 70th minute. You see him here now, finishing well. God, he's a cracking player. I mean, I've got to say that's a free kick there, isn't it? He's kind of got hold of the shirt a little bit. I'm surprised that the opponent there isn't complaining, but he didn't. Anyway, here we go. He's going to whack his chin. Bomb. That's a good one. Good one in slow-mo. But yeah, Perreault fed him really well for the goal. Great stuff. But let's talk about the midfield, because I have to laugh. Because I don't know if you guys have picked up my feelings on Daniel Farke at the moment, but I genuinely don't think he's a future prospect for Leeds United in the Premier League. I think he may well get us there, just about, but I just don't see. There's something about him, I just don't see it in his play. I don't see the flexibility in his play, but it does make me laugh at the moment, the fact that he has this midfield currently. It's hilarious. He's having to play 2 number 8s in midfield, and for a more passive manager like Daniel Farke, who likes to just hold and manage possession, to see 2 8s who are working their socks off in that midfield. Rothwell was charging towards the Sheffield United end in that game. He was absolutely charging at it. It was brilliant to see. And he wasn't taking the nearest pass option. Did you notice that? When he picked the ball up, he was skipping it over the player nearest him. He was spreading the play. The amount of times he picked the ball up in defensive positions and then just hooked it over the man next to him to Strauch or Rodon, who was further across the pitch, or Bogle, who was further across the pitch. It just means that Sheffield United have to shift that much more. It unbalances teams rather than just going ding, A, B, C, D passes. He just walloped it over the top. Really makes a difference to some of our play. It speeds things up. You're taking out the middleman, so to speak, making things faster. The star of the show for me was A.O. Tanaka. My God. How the hell are you going to drop that guy when Ethan Ampadu comes back from injury? That's 2 performances now from him. And, you know, he gave an interview before this game, a little concerned about the defensive duties that he was going to have to take up. And bar one small incident where he lost possession, he was as solid as a rock. Passed the ball confidently, mostly forward. He worked incredibly well with Rothwell. They stayed tight together. You know, managed a midfield that had 3 guys in there in your opponents, but managed it comfortably. He looks so composed, and also a player that constantly has space around him. And I have to say, that's always the mark of a good player, isn't it? To create space around you. He seemed to peel off of people really well. Moves the ball between his feet well. He's just class. And it's a real problem for Daniel Farke. Ethan Ampadu comes back. Ilya Gruev comes back. How can you put Ilya Gruev back in this squad? It'd be really tough to do, wouldn't it? Rothwell looks like he is fully fit now. He's 100%. God, I'm touching wood. God, I hope he stays fit. It was a real complete performance from Leeds. Albeit not hugely effective in attacking positions. But we got the job done. We get ourselves into second second place. We won't stay there, of course. I'm sure Burnley will win tomorrow and they'll go above us. But it was a great result. But I want to do a longer form video about Daniel Farke, about his limitations. And it really made me laugh, because I bet he hates the fact we're having to play 2 number 8s. And those 2 guys look like they're in there to prove him wrong. You know, we just look so much better with an attacking force when we're moving forward like that. When you've got 2 midfielders who are prepared to move that ball forward fast. God, we look so much better. Just got to sort the number 10 out. I'm not completely comfortable with it at the moment. Brendan Aronson's doing a bit of a job. If we can just figure that out. Manor Solomon is back now. We'll see how he goes. But a great result. Final mention, I think, needs to go to Chris Wilder. A man who can wear shirt and tie and continuously spit on the field as he's doing so. I mean, who wears a shirt and tie and spits? But he was very quiet, wasn't he? Kept himself to himself. And after the game, he did his press conference and he said there is no team that will finish above Leeds United. Can you believe he actually said that? We'll leave it there, shall we? Thanks, Chris. I'm sure you're right. To all of you guys, I love you. Support the channel and I'll see you soon.